Did you ever steal a car? Your parents' car?
You hadn't been bullied about that up to that point?
I guess I'd never said sword in front of someone. I don't know.
Well, that is dyslexia.
Come on. It was right there. Avast.
Yeah?
I get it. Done. And I will talk about that later.
What's that?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Is that medical? It doesn't feel... That doesn't feel medical.
It's capturing that ephemeral thing that you can never get back.
Hi guys. Welcome back to the Double Entendre Pod. Dee-doop-boop-a-doop. Carter's got his Dungeons and Dragons t-shirt on for those of you that are just listening. And guess why? Because the name of the game, the name of the book this week is Dungeons and Drama. Okay? That is the book that we will be doing today. We're not doing two parts. We're doing it all in one.
Just
okay?
one.
Just one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
It was so enjoyable.
It was so enjoyable.
You just breezed through it.
Yeah. It was an easy peasy read, an enjoyable read.
Yeah.
Went down real nice and smooth.
Yes.
Like I don't know, alcohol. Like a
I was gonna
espresso martini.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh fuck, I miss espresso martinis.
We can make you a decaf. Well, you don't really drink either.
No.
Yeah. Never mind.
I don't drink caffeine and I don't drink alcohol. My life is a joke. And by I don't, I mean like I can't. Whatever I have going on medically, I can't. I have something going on medically that caffeine does not agree with me, or I'm just allergic to it, you know? And same for alcohol.
Yeah.
I've been able to tolerate these two things in my life previously. I've, had a smaller tolerance for both of them, but here we are. Now, someone who loves coffee and enjoys a delicious alcoholic beverage. You know what?
I was gonna say it goes down real smooth, like a gelatinous cube on a slip and slide.
There you go. That's a D&D reference.
That's a D&D reference for you.
In case you didn't know.
It took me a really long time to cook that up. An embarrassing amount of time.
Oh, that was. Oh.
No, just now.
Just
the entire
now.
time
No,
you
that
were
wasn't...
talking about your woes. No, that was.
Were you not listening to me?
I was.
Okay.
But that's probably why it took me so long.
You were also
trying to do
thinking.
both.
Okay. I wonder if I can't drink on Zoloft, I guess, but maybe it'll like help me be able to have coffee again.
Hopefully.
I don't know. Only if it's the anxiety is the issue. I don't know.
Drinking's whatever.
Yeah, no, it is. And I don't,
You know?
I've never drank a lot. Like I was never a big drinker, but I like having the option to have a frozen marg with tacos or an espresso martini.
Yeah.
You're a fantastic bartender and I can't enjoy the fruits of your talents. And it's very frustrating. Non sequitur.
More for me.
Getting emotional about how much I miss a little drink. You know? Exactly. So today's book is called Dungeons and Drama.
Like Kristy Boyce. Not Kristy Boyce. Kristy Boyce.
So this book was actually recommended to me by one of my followers, I think, maybe while I was streaming or something. Someone was like, oh my God, Marielle, you have to read this book, Dungeons and Drama. And I said, this sounds right up my alley. And they said, it's literally you and Carter, okay? Because it is a book about, I said this on the last episode, a little theater girl who, meets a nerdy Dungeons and Dragons boy and has a whole story about them and their budding relationship.
Yeah.
Friendship and relationship.
There's rising action, an inciting incident.
Yeah, exactly.
A climax, a denouement, the whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And I was like, and at that moment in time, I was like, I haven't read a YA novel in a long time. Like, am I even going to like it? Like, I have been reading fairy smut and regular smut and like just a lot of fantasy.
Some sci-fi smut too.
Like I was just reading a lot of adult books. And that's not all I read, okay? I just want that on the record. That's not all I read. But at that point, I was like, I don't know if a YA novel would hit like that. And I tore through it. I tore through it, but sometimes I'll read a book where, like, I can read a book in 2 days, if, like, depending on the length. Like, sometimes I could read a book, like, in a day. But with a book like this, I remember I was dragging it out as much as I could because I didn't want it to end because it was so sweet and so darling. But yeah, so we are very excited to be able to do this book. This is our first book that we're doing. This
is our first non-smut.
Non-smut, yes. But also, we got special permission to do this.
Oh, we did.
From Penguin Random House. Thank you, Penguin Random House. It was very nice. They do have an audiobook we will be linking. If you'd like to give it a listen, we will give you a little taste during the pod.
We'll give you our interpretation of these characters if you want the full produced, professional and paid experience. Definitely head over to Audible and the other places.
We're going to put the link in.
There's a link in the bio. Don't listen to me.
Yep.
It's fine.
With that being said, I also want to shout out once again the Patreon. Thank you to all our patrons for continuing to support us. Once again, I want to say how much it means to me in this economy that you continue to show up and support us with your monies. It's very overwhelming and very sweet. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into talking about this sweet, darling book. When I read this last year, I told everyone and their mother about it. I was like, you have to read this. Again, I feel, some sort of, closeness to it in that it is literally me and Carter.
Did you ever steal a car? Your parents' car?
I didn't, no.
No? Okay.
No, I didn't.
I was going to have more respect for you.
Sorry. I did sneak out of my house once through my bathroom window.
Hey! Okay.
That's something.
That's something. I never snuck out. I was just stick in the mud.
Yeah. So here we go. Here's a synopsis. I can never say that word.
Synopsis?
Synopsis. I always say synopsis.
That's crazy work.
Synopsis.
Yeah. Like what?
Synopsis. I always say synopsis. Why do
this
I do
is
that?
like the Mo-Lawner thing from Bob's Burgers.
But did you know I also used to say hyena? Like my whole life, I said.
There's only one H in it.
Hyena.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hyena, but I was saying hyena.
Okay.
I would say hyena wrong.
Hyena.
I would say sword.
Okay.
I remember I was in a workshop for Mulan Jr. with this licensing company when I was little, and I played a character that had to say the word sword, and I said sword, and the creative team laughed at me. I was like 12 years old, and they laughed at me.
12 is no. You can laugh at a 12-year-old that says sword.
But I was.
You hadn't been bullied about that up to that point?
I guess I'd never said sword in front of someone. I'm like not dyslexic, but sometimes I have trouble with certain words. Mm-hmm. Remember I was telling you about like that time that I said Poseidon out loud, but I hadn't like
Poseidon.
No, I said Poseidon.
Poseidon.
I don't know.
Well, that is dyslexia.
What?
Like if you moved the I from where it is to before the S to make it poi. Like maybe it's not dyslexia because you're reading it, but it's like I don't know. Maybe a listener knows.
Diagnose me in the comments. Because that was like, and my friends never let me live.
We're open sourcing this.
That down.
Yeah.
Never let me live that down. The Poseidon. I don't know why that like.
It sounds like a Pokemon.
Like when I looked at it in my head, do you look at words in your head sometimes?
Yes.
Like, yeah. You can see the
That's
word
why
in
it
your
takes
head.
me so long to read.
Yeah. I was like seeing it in my head as Poseidon, and then I said it out loud and I went, wait, that's not right. And that's probably what happened with, that's not exactly what happened with sword, because that is how it's spelled.
Yeah.
It's just not how it's said.
Our language is dumb.
Yeah.
And the way that things are spelled is even more asinine and chaotic.
Yeah. You're welcome to get a little Marielle lore.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Why don't you give us a quick synopsis?
Riley. She is the little musical theater princess. All of these characters are in high school. This is set in high school. Riley and her best friend steal her mom's car to go and see a touring production of Waitress the musical.
Woo!
In like Cincinnati or something. Or they're in Ohio.
No, Columbus.
And because like their transportation there didn't work out, and they were like, I'm not missing this show. They're musical theater freak. And so Riley stole her mom's car. She only has like a learner's permit, and she drove to the city. It was like a long drive. As punishment, her parents have decided to make her work at her dad's gaming store. Her dad owns
boo-hoo.
a nerd gaming store.
Sword and board games.
So Carter actually worked at a place like this.
I did.
That's where he worked when we met. Is called, oh my God.
It shall not be named. I'm not giving them the lip service.
That's right.
I am union strong.
Yeah.
I'm not a member of that union, but I
suck.
support all of the workers. And
Did they ever unionize?
They did unionize,
Oh,
and
good
the
for
owners
them.
are being
I'm sure.
not so great about it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we won't name them, but he did work at a board game cafe.
And it's big, and it's in New York City, so you probably know which one.
Yeah. And the first time I went, I was like, oh my God, how fun. I didn't know that, like,
Yeah, it's
I
the
love that places
concept
like
is
this exist.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, this is just a board game store. Yours was a board game cafe, so you could get drinks.
His Sword and Board Games is what's called an LGS or an FLGS, a friendly local game store.
Okay.
And that's where you go to buy Magic the Gathering cards, Pokemon cards. That's where you go to get the newest expansion of Carcassonne or,
Oh, God.
you know,
Okay.
whatever. It's board games. It's TTRPGs, which stands for tabletop role-playing games. I'm going to be slinging
Oh, Jesus
some
Christ.
colloquialisms. That's a callback to last episode, which was yesterday.
Do you guys get that?
It might be cut.
Anyway.
It might be cut.
Anyway, so her punishment is to work there, and she's none too happy about it. Okay, firstly because she has a little bit of a strained relationship with her dad, but not really on the fault of her father. It's on her. Her parents are divorced, and she's just closer with her mom. So she starts working there, and her parents are like, "You have to gain back our trust because we don't trust you anymore." She starts working there, and she sees that one of her coworkers is a kid from her school named Nathaniel. She doesn't know him.
Nathan.
Oh,
Why are you calling him by his Christian name?
is it his name?
It's just
might not even be
Nathan.
Nathaniel.
Is it?
I don't know.
No, it's Nathan. She's constantly calling him Nathan. His full name
Why did I
might be
think his name was
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel?
Because he's a nerd and you want to bully him.
Okay, so Nathan, she sees that her coworker, his name is Nathan, he's a kid from her school. She doesn't know him very well, but he's a little surly towards her. Their first interaction is that she didn't know that he worked there, and he walked up behind the counter and like just took a pack of cards or something, or a bag of dice or something. He just like took something from behind the counter and walked away, and she was like,
Cards.
This kid just stole. And she makes it like this whole big thing, and then she gets embarrassed because Nathan is like, "No, I work here.
I already bought it.
And I already bought it."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh." So that's that. Then we find out that her school is not having the spring musical. Horrifying. The school decides to like defund the theater department.
The school is defunded, and they have a deficit in the budget that they need to make up, and so they decide to cut arts. It's not like the principal is like this.
No, I know.
In particular,
but
like
they do defund the theater department. They say there's waning interest from the community and people that want to be in it. We don't have the money. We're going to cut it.
And the old choir teacher left,
Who used to do the shows.
You know, was the director every single year and was the stalwart and like kind of stopped that from happening. Stopped the musical from being on the chopping block. She's out. New teacher.
She's new and she's young. She doesn't have, she doesn't have her feet
She's
in the
probably
sand,
younger than we are.
Yeah,
I think.
Probably. So Riley learns that they're not doing the spring musical, and she's like, what?
What's the point?
What's the point in going to school? And I think I might have a note about that later, because as someone that really only went to school to do theater and music,
Sure.
I would feel the same way. But she takes it upon herself. She's a real go-getter. I'd say she's either a Virgo or a Capricorn. If I had to guess, she's a real go-getter, and she's like, I'm going to save the spring musical.
She's got to be a Virgo. Because I know a Capricorn.
Well, but I'm not a typical Capricorn.
You're not?
And also, mind you, when I put my mind to something,
yeah,
I get it done. And I will talk about that later in response to this book. Anyways, she's hatching a plan, but when she tells her mom about it, her mom's like, don't you dare. You're supposed to be focusing on school and work and earning our trust back. no staying after school, no hanging out with your best friend, like no fun basically. And she's like, okay, Mom, but she's gonna keep doing it. Side note, she has an ex-boyfriend,
Paul.
who is a
Lisan Al-Gaib.
Lisan Al-Gaib. He's he's a
the
straight
hotshot.
he's a straight boy tenor that
Yeah.
all the girls want because he's cute and talented. And he's kind of a dick to her. What ends up happening is that he brings the girl that he left her for into the game store and like flaunts her around Riley. Kind of, they're looking for a gift for her little brother or something. Yeah. And Riley and he like kind of goads Riley by being like, oh, I'm sorry, should I not have brought her here? And like, I'm sorry, that was rude of me. Like, you're gonna find someone else, don't you worry. And she's like, I have already found someone. And he's like, oh yeah, who? And you guys can see where this is going. She freaks out, and the first name that pops into her head is
Nathan.
And so Nathan appears in that moment from like the back room or whatever, and she goes over and she like gives him a kiss on the arm.
Yeah, the arm or the shoulder or something.
So
it's very
and she pulls him into the back room and does the whole like, please, like, please do this, I'll owe you one, whatever. And the way that she gets him to agree to it is that there is a girl that is in Nathan's D&D group with him and his friends.
Sometimes
She doesn't show up all the time, but she's like hot and pretty and wafy and has red hair and like dresses all girly and whatever. And he's head over heels with her for her, and she like barely gives him the time of day. Like she keeps like
she uses him for his store discount.
She uses him for a store discount, and also she just kind of like toys with him.
Yeah.
So Riley is like, listen, if you pretend to be my boyfriend to shove it in Paul's face, I will make, oh my God, what's that girl? I will make Sophia jealous because she's the type of girl that loves competition. And if she sees me all over you, flirting with you and vice versa, she will want you. And he's like,
play hard to get, man.
Yeah.
Nothing bad will ever come from this classic sitcom setup. It's foolproof. And they do the We're
whole
only
thing.
16 years old and filled with hormones.
And they do the whole like, you better not fall for me, or yeah, right. Like, I'm going to fall for you.
Yeah. I'm like a really good actor.
Yeah. And he will say, he's like, I'm a good actor. In front of the D&D group, he like, or no, not in front of the D&D group, but like right before a game or whatever, he like,
as they are deciding for the first
he like
time,
goes closer to her and he like, like caresses her cheek with his thumb and like, drops his voice low and like looks at her lips and does all this like sexy stuff. And she's like, huh? And he's like, told you I was a good actor. And I was like, boy's got riz.
Dude role plays for fun.
So Riley ends up joining the D&D game, and she's immediately like, okay, she's all for it. Because at first she's like, D&D, one of my dad's nerd hobbies, and like, ugh. But then she learns that she can be a bard.
Yep.
So, and of course the theater kid is like, oh, I can burst out into song randomly and heal people with my music. Let's go. And she kind of falls right into it and is like really obsessed with it.
Yeah. Because it's amazing.
It is.
And if you are listening to this podcast and you have not tried Dungeons and Dragons, there is someone in your life who loves it. Talk to them about it. They're going to be so excited.
I won't pretend I didn't have my preconceived notions.
Same.
Right up until like the first time we played. Like I was like, oh, okay, like that's your little hobby and you like it, and like it's got a connotation and whatever. And then like, and I also didn't think I would like it because I don't like to improv. And I thought D&D you had to like improv and like act and do voices and
kind
whatever.
Of what the kids do at this table. This table's very improv heavy.
Yeah, I didn't.
They're in character.
I thought you'd have to do that, and
the entire time.
Even though I'm an actor, I hate improv, so I didn't want to do that. And Carter was like, "You don't have to. You can say like, I cut him down with my sword. You don't have to be like,
avast."
Yeah. So anyway,
but you could.
You could.
It's fun.
Anyway, it's a great game, and Riley knows it. We know it. Now you know it. So they start doing their little pretend scheme. And it's going well. Sophia is immediately like, huh? Some competition. And then like Paul is proved wrong, because he was like, Riley, come on. Like
he corners her at like the cafeteria.
Yeah. And he's like, let's just between you and me, like admit that you were making this up. And then Nathan comes out of nowhere and
holds her hand, grabs her,
like kisses her on the head or something. And Paul's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So then Riley comes up with a plan on how to save the spring musical. She talks to the chorus teacher about it and like is like, will you help me? And the teacher's like, I don't know, it's a lot of work. And she's like, I'm prepared. I'll do everything I can. And I have so much, like, there are so many people that want to help because they care about this. She's like, all right, let's do it.
We can talk about this more later on. Riley really wants to be the student director of the musical. She has been on stage before. She has a good, if not great, voice and is, charismatic in the way that only a 16-year-old theater kid can be. But she really wants to direct. And so this is like a sort of a trial by fire of her calling of organizing something. She's actually a much better producer than she is director, probably.
Oh, we don't know.
Well, we know she's a really damn good producer.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Right.
And that's what she should do. And I want a sequel that's like 16 or 20 years later.
And she's producing for Broadway. Yeah. As you know, a lot of this book, I will say, is not like super plot heavy in like lots of stuff happening. It's just like the progression of their relationship, of her and Nathan's relationship, the progression of her and her dad's relationship.
Yeah.
And her growing up, her, having realizations.
Getting glimpses of the progression of her best friend Hoshiko's budding romance
as well
with the dungeon master Lucas.
And just a lot of like fun like high school stuff, going to dances and having they had like a movie day where all the boys and her best friend Hoshiko came over to her dad's apartment and they watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail because the girls had never seen it, and of course the nerd boys were like, "You never seen it," and they made them watch it. Her dad throughout the book, the what would you call it, like Chekhov's gun is that
it is
I did that right?
You did.
Riley learns from Nathan that her dad his doctor told him he had to like watch what he eats and like cut back on sugar and diet and soda and fatty foods and stuff. And that was like the first realization Riley had, where she was like, why do you know that and I don't? And it's like, well, because you've pushed off a relationship with your father. Yeah. And he's closer with the kid that works at his game store. But during all this time, her and Nathan are getting to know each other and like the lines are blurring. There's one point where Nathan is like, he comes to her in school and he's like, what if we just like never stopped pretending? Because they weren't sure like when they should be on for Paul and for Sophia. So he's like, I'm not really sure when I'm supposed to be on. So what if we just like, don't like, what if we pretend all the time? And in that moment, I'm like, when you're a reader, you're saying, Riley girl, how do you not see it?
How do you not know?
How do you not see it? Because it's like so obvious that he's like,
what I love is that the crew, the D&D group, they're aware that this is fake because they, go off, they have a conversation, and Nathan and Riley sit down and suddenly they're like flirting with each other. And they're like, what's going on? So they explain it. And so as they continue to play this game and have this, fake, this showmance almost, if you will, with each other, you can see from Riley's perspective, all of her friends see what is very obvious in front of them, but she can't put it back together. And that's like it's a nice layer. It's well done. So
while this is all going on, budding relationships and all that, the choir teacher gets her a meeting with the principal to talk about like Riley's plan to put the musical on. And what they decide to do is do like a presentation for the principal and like a board member and like the president of the PTA, like a little group. Yeah. They're going to put on like a performance to show them like how much the musical means to these kids. So they do 2 numbers from Shrek the Musical, one of the best musicals on earth. It's really up there. It's in my top 10.
It's in your top 10.
Yeah, I love Shrek the Musical.
That's crazy.
It's great. So in order to rehearse that, she has to stay after school. But if you recall what I said before, her mom was like,
she's
no,
grounded.
Yeah, you're grounded. You're not, there's no staying after school. There's no extracurriculars. Like, you just come home and you work.
And specifically for musical theater.
Yeah.
Like, you're not allowed to think musical theater.
Yeah. So she lies to her parents, which she doesn't feel good about. And she lies to her parents and
Nor
says
does
that
she really get in trouble for.
she doesn't. Spoiler alert. And she tells her parents that she's staying after because the choir teacher is like holding extra rehearsals for the choir, like the class, for their like concert or something. So she is rehearsing with these kids. She's producing, she's directing, she's putting everything together.
Her best friend Hoshiko is
a dancer.
Is like a phenomenal dancer. She's a triple threat, but like her big thing is dance. That's what she loves. So she gets her friend to do the choreography for it. They are sourcing costumes from where they can, which is next to nowhere. Meanwhile, Paul is incredibly, talented. He's like probably the leading man of this high school. And so he is cast as Shrek. He's part of these rehearsals, and he starts like hovering around Riley, even though it's very clear that she is not, in air quotes, dating Nathan. She doesn't know why. It's obvious that Paul is like feeling a little regretful.
Yeah.
That
a little jealous, a little regretful.
Yeah. Broke up with her. And so he's pestering her, and it just kind of goes nowhere, I guess.
No, it's a plot device because then what happens
then
is they have a homecoming dance.
Yes, homecoming.
And they go as like a group, but people have dates. Like Hoshiko is going with the Dungeon Master Lucas because they have this little budding relationship. Riley ends up going with Nathan just as they're like, well, might as well, like, everyone thinks we're together and we'll go as friends, but we'll go together as a couple. And then there's another kid in the D&D
Anthony.
group. D&D and also Anthony and also
well, John and his boyfriend Jordan are not going because John
they don't go, yes, because they don't want to miss
John's LARPing.
Yeah.
John's busy LARPing.
Yeah.
Anthony's
like the ladies man.
Yes.
He's
He's super flirty. The whole time he's like, you should have chose me for your fake boyfriend. I'd be cool with it. I wouldn't be weird. It's like, well glad you didn't yell, Anthony.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's fine. He takes a date as well.
So they all go to the dance and they have a good time. They're all dancing. They're having fun. And then there's a slow dance and Riley and Nathan dance together. And they haven't kissed at this point, but she's
getting
so close. The lines are so blurred at this point where she's like, she's coming to terms that she cares about him. And she's probably thinking he cares about her. But like anytime he's sweet to her, for the most part, it's because Paul's around and he's doing his part by flirting with her, by showing her affection to, shove it in Paul's face.
Yep.
So they're dancing and he kisses her and
they're like spinning.
They're spinning as they kiss. And then when they break apart,
they do a full 180. So she's looking where he was.
Where Nathan was looking.
Yes.
And she sees Paul and she goes, Paul? And Nathan's like, what? And she spirals and freaks out because she's like, the only reason he kissed me is because Paul was standing there. Fuck. Like, I thought he actually wanted to kiss me. And she has a crash out.
Hides in the bathroom.
She hides in the bathroom. Paul like runs up to her before she gets to the bathroom and is like, basically like, I'm sorry. I should have never dumped you. And he tries to kiss her and she like kind of thwarts it, but Nathan sees Paul try to kiss her and like he's in a bad mood, and then when she comes back from the bathroom she's being real pissy to him and he's like, what the hell? And so he's in a bad mood. He leaves the dance.
He goes, you can get a ride.
It explodes.
Yeah.
And lots of bad feelings. And I think that's like they have that little explosion and then they like don't talk to each other.
Yeah, that's on like Saturday. The performance is on Wednesday. Monday she hides.
I'm sorry. Guys, we're flying off the seat of our pants because I usually write down bullet points and I didn't. She tells Nathan that she's planning to quit the board game store and therefore also won't be in the D&D game anymore. And, that hurts because he's come to like her. Little does she know. but she's planning to quit because she's going to be busy with the musical. And then the choir teacher is like, I could use your help with the younger kids that I teach choir to, and you're really great at all this. And she's like, I'm going to have no more time. And Nathan gets really pissed, and they have this blowout, and he's like, well, you should tell your dad. And she's like, oh my God. So they have that blowout at the dance. She tells her dad that she's going to be quitting the store. It's a very sad scene, a very upsetting scene. We'll talk about it later. And then she leaves things on bad terms with her dad. And then the day of the performance that they've all been working very hard for, one of the lead people, or like an integral part of the performance, is sick. And she's like, what the hell? They weren't able to find enough costumes. Half the costumes in time. So, like, everything was falling apart. And she's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Like, and Hoshiko's like, no, we're going to figure it out. We're going to be able to do this. And then, she gets a call from her mom.
Riley, will you please come to the front office? We've got a call for you.
Yeah. And Riley Meady's like, what the hell is this? Her dad had a heart attack, and he's in the hospital.
Yep.
And so she rushes over there with her mom. She's all upset. She's freaking out. Long story short, her dad's okay. He's fine.
He's got to make some life changes, but he's going to be okay. It's not a heart attack. They called it, I have a note.
Heart event or something.
Yeah, a heart attack scare or something like that. Where I was like, what's that?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Is that medical? It doesn't feel... That doesn't feel medical.
Once she sees that her dad's okay, and he realizes that she's missing the performance, because now her parents know about it, and they're like kind of pissed that she lied, but like they're like, you know, this means a lot to you, and you worked really hard at it, and you know, it's fine at the end of the day. And once he learns that she's missing the performance, he's like, you have to go. And she's like, no, Dad, no, I can't leave you. And he's like, I'm fine. Go. I would never forgive you if you miss this because of me. So she gets there just as the like second song is going on. And she's watching it, and she's like, wow, it's amazing. They did a great job. They have costumes on. Oh, Lucas is filling in for the kid that that got sick, and you know, she sees like the other her like nerd friends like helping out in this way and that way.
While she was gone, Hoshiko and all of the other kids in the performance, there's 25 of them. Okay, for the record, this thing is a huge undertaking for a high schooler to do. They don't know what they're going to do. They think they're just going to call it because they can't, you know, figure out what to do. But then Hoshiko's like, we've got to pull it together. Riley has worked so hard on this. She's given us all of the tools. We can solve 2-3 problems. What are we going to do?
And so they figure it out.
Let's not
give too much away.
And so they figure it out. But I think this should at least be said, is that there is someone who is an integral part to figuring it out.
Yes.
And to helping.
Yes. Nathan.
So
she talks to the principal and the board member and the PTA member and blah, blah, blah. And they talk it over, and they decide, yes, we'll have the spring musical on, you know, the basis that like you stay within budget, and it's obvious that people are interested. And then like they end up seeing that like Nathan brought in other nerds, like older nerds from the game store,
these retired guys
who come to the auditorium to say like, we'll donate our time to build sets. And Riley's mom is like, she has an interior design business. Me and Riley's dad will sponsor from our businesses, and like everyone comes together to help these scrappy little kids have their musical. It's very heartwarming, and they are able to have the musical. And then Riley starts to hear all the ways that her friends have helped her pull this off. They're all concerned about her dad because they all love her dad. And then she finds out that Nathan was like the most integral part about helping with this. They have a reconciliation backstage. And then the book kind of ends with them going to prom, I think.
It ends with like, yay, good job, we did it. I
And
liked you the whole time. Did you like me the whole time? Okay, great.
Are we
cool.
boyfriend girlfriend? Great.
Can we be boyfriend girlfriend?
Yeah. And like she's able to work it out so that she can still work at the game store like one night a week or something, and she still is in the D&D games. Her friend is dating the dungeon master, and they're having a grand old time.
Not the dungeon master.
Well, he ends up.
Yeah. Lucas is. This is my biggest qualm with the whole book.
Oh.
Okay, I got beef
Okay.
with Lucas, the dungeon master, for most of this book. Goes, oh, I want to play a character because he's got a great Scottish accent. He takes over for that person who was missing. He goes, I never got to use my accents as a dungeon master. I want to be a player so I can use funny accents. Dude, what are you talking about?
You could do that as a
You can
dungeon
do
master.
that. You should do that. You're playing more than one person.
I just kind of took it as like they take turns.
No, and I love that.
Who's the
And
dungeon master?
John, the wizard in the campaign, from the get is like that's a DM. Mm-hmm. He's a rules lawyer. He's upset that people are like doing anything other than being 100% in the game. He LARPs, for Christ's sake. Like, he should have been the dungeon master from the beginning.
Yeah. So that's the book. Very adorable.
So fun.
Very sweet.
So great.
I know we just gave you the whole synopsis, but but it's worth a read.
I'll cut some of that.
Yeah. It's definitely worth a read.
Yeah. There's, like you said earlier, there's not a whole lot that's happening plot-wise. What is the joy of this book is the journey and being
And the
in
characters.
this, and like being in Riley's head as she's experiencing all of these things and encountering this new world and making friends, and just growing up.
Yeah.
You know, and her relationship with her father, as that is developing, is very nice.
Very sweet.
It's very, very sweet, heartfelt
Yeah.
stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
Let's read. Let's do a little
Let's
reading.
read.
Reading is what? Fundamental. That's from RuPaul's Drag Race. So the context for this reading is that this is after Riley has proposed the plan to Nathan to fake date, and they are about to play a game of D&D together, and she's kind of poking the bear. She's kind of, poking at him, and he's like, his patience is wearing thin. Nathan looks over his shoulder as Dad retreats before saying quietly,
Can I talk to you?
Sure. I spin and smile sweetly up at him. What do you need?
In private.
He growls. I waggle my eyebrows suggestively at him. Yes. Let's do that in private. Nathan storms off and I stand. We'll be right back. I follow him to the corner of the room where the bathrooms are. We're partially hidden behind a woven screen that Dad has erected in front of the bathroom doors, but it's hardly private. Way to be dramatic back there, I say. He glares at me, then sighs, again, dramatically. Who says drama kids are always the dramatic ones?
Riley, what are you doing? You're in my D&D group now? Really? You hate D&D. Please don't ruin the game for me. You may think it's stupid, but I love it.
I'm not going to ruin it. And it wasn't my idea. Lucas and Dad just got excited about it, and I didn't want to turn them down. Especially if you agree to my proposal. Plus, I get out of work during the games. He rolls his eyes.
Of course, that's your motivation.
If you don't want to go along with my plan, then fine. Obviously, I can't make you. Although, I stand firm in the belief that it would work. Sophia would be eating out of your hand if she realized you weren't interested anymore. But, whatever. You do you. Let's just try to get through the game tonight without murdering each other. Nathan takes the tiniest step towards me.
I didn't say I wasn't interested in the plan.
His voice has lost the sharp edge it had a minute ago. Oh. I blink in surprise. After how angry he was, I figured that was definitely off the table. Well, great. I figured you hated the idea. He shrugs and steps even closer. He's definitely inside the invisible bubble of personal space around me, and my heart thuds at his nearness.
I thought about it in the stock room and decided you made a good point. Plus...
He reaches out and slowly brushes my hair away from my face. Goosebumps rise on my arms as he slides his thumb down the curve of my jaw until he's cradling my face in his hand.
I thought it might be fun to get to know you better.
What? I I thought he liked Sophia. I try to swallow, but my throat is too dry. I choke out. At my words or lack thereof, he smirks and steps back.
That's what I thought.
His voice has turned flat.
I told you. You won't make it 1 minute into this fake flirting thing.
Wait, what? Horror flies through me and I wrap my arms over my chest. Was that? I stare at him in shock. Were you just faking?
Of course.
He's laughing now, but it's an annoying, gloating sort of laugh that makes me want to push him into the nearest toilet. And I can guarantee the public toilets here don't get cleaned every day.
That's what you asked me to do. We're supposed to be fake flirting, aren't we?
I throw my hands up in the air. Well, it doesn't count right now. You have to warn me. I need to be prepared. I thought maybe you... He laughs again.
Yeah, no. I don't think so.
Oh my God, you're horrible. Why did I have to blurt out your name? I squeeze my eyes shut in frustration and embarrassment. I can't believe I thought he might be serious there for a second. I'm such an idiot. Although, I have to say, Nathan's a better actor than I gave him credit for. Maybe he'd be willing to audition for the spring musical once I bring it back, that is. If I don't kill him before that. I pull in a long, calming breath and I look at him directly in the eye. I'm a professional. Not literally because I haven't made any money from my theater performances, but I consider myself one anyway. If you can pull off this fake flirting thing, then I absolutely can as well. And we only have to keep it up long enough for Sophia to get interested and for Paul to believe I wasn't lying. Then we break it off and we go back to happily ignoring each other.
If only I had a TARDIS so I could travel to the future now.
Lovely. I roll my eyes. So, we're good? You're not going to rat me out to Paul on Monday? We stare at each other. His lips are pressed into a thin line, but he doesn't look angry any longer. More like he's sizing me up.
We're good. If you can pull this off.
Don't worry about that. He raises an eyebrow and then strides back to his friends, leaving me to follow. Sophia better wake up and notice him pronto, because I won't be able to take much more of Nathan Wheeler. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Let's get into it.
And look at me. I have a feeling that you have taken a lot of notes.
I have, but it's not what you think.
Okay, great.
I don't believe so. Most of the time I'm just like, "Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
I like this sentence."
I want to start off by saying Kristy Boyce gets it when it comes to describing fashion.
Really?
Yes, because the first note I took is her describing her mom's clothing, and it says, "Mom is as stylish as ever, with her blonde hair pulled back in a low bun, wearing a blouse, wide-leg trousers, and heels that are too high for most people to pull off." Like, that's how I would, like, and she's supposed to be, like, this very chic interior designer. Mm-hmm. And, like, I can picture that outfit in my head in a way that is, like, so chic, so fashionable, so classy that, and it, like, I don't know. And it's like, it evokes what enough for me to imagine it in my head, if that makes sense. Like it's not too descriptive that I'm like, what are you saying? And even the way that she describes Riley's outfits for you guys listening, we didn't talk about this, but Riley is like a maximalist. Like, she wears really bright colors, clashing patterns. Like, she has like big sweaters, like sweater vests that have giant hearts. And
on page 7, she's wearing orange jeans with a cobalt blue ruffled shirt, chunky jewelry, and her favorite purple checkerboard Vans. And
like, does that sound insane? Yes. But like, again, the way that these characters are styled, even one like Riley, who's a maximalist, it's not cringy. It just makes sense.
All right.
I can picture it without being like, what is
cringed
this?
On that. Like, my note was high school is a wasteland.
But that is also, that's high school. You know,
yeah, of course.
It's not built to fall with a grown woman wearing rose gold Oxfords and skinny jeans with rips in them. Anyway, that's my first note.
Okay. We're gonna test Nathan to Riley.
Mm-hmm. You to me.
Yeah. Carter to Mare. you work at a board game store. Someone comes up to you and says, I've got a tiny little kid. I got to get a board game for him. He's like 7 or 8. Should I get him Forbidden Island or Ticket to Ride?
Oh my God, I put that note. I said, are those real games, Carter?
Yes, they are.
Wow.
Yes, they are.
Because in this book, she does mention like actual things like Pokemon and
Everything,
magic and
Yeah, there's not a thing that is...
Christy has done her
Like, made up.
research.
Yeah, she
unless
has.
she is also a board game nerd.
No, in the acknowledgement, she says thank you to some of the people who work at the LGS, wherever she lives, for helping her, write about it and
Nerd
research
dramaturgy.
it. But here's the thing. She did
Nerdrotermy.
such...
Sorry. Sorry.
You get one more. One more.
No, that was it. Nerdrotermy.
Not dramanergy? Come on. It was right there.
Damn, you're right. That's why you're a writer and I'm not.
So, well, I don't know about that. But she did her dramanergy so well that I have a note later on. There's something about like she's talking about the stock room and the way that the boxes are piled up, and I was like, oh, she's put in the hours.
She's gone
and she
into
hasn't,
the back room of
but
a board game
Yeah, she's
store.
done the research really well, where someone who's worked at an LGS felt very seen and very comfortable in
And
this
what's
space.
LGS again?
A local game store,
Okay.
or an FLGS, a friendly local game store, which is the same thing.
Well, I don't know the game Forbidden Island or Ticket to Ride, so this isn't a fun game because I don't know.
Okay.
I would say maybe Forbidden Island. Just from the title sounds fun
Correct.
to me.
Yes. There is a Ticket to Ride Junior, but generally speaking, also Forbidden Island's a cooperative game.
Listen to me.
It's more fun.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Describe Forbidden Island.
Forbidden Island, you and your friends are working together to try to get off of an island. It depends on the version of the game. There's like sequels, basically, but the island is sinking, and you have to collect 3 or 4 relics to get off the island before, it falls into the ocean. So you all have to work together. You get like cards and stuff and
sounds fun.
actions. It's a great game. And
Is it for kids or adults?
it's like 8+.
Oh.
So like we could play it for sure, and we would have
Kinda
a
want
blast.
to, yeah.
Yeah, but like I played that game a lot when I was an after school board game counselor.
And 10 seconds, Ticket to Ride.
Ticket to Ride is a map of the continental United States and all of the different railways that bisect it, and you need to build the best line, essentially.
That's a game for autists.
Yeah, it's kind of...
that does not appeal to me.
I think it does better what Monopoly tries to do,
Okay.
right? It's that sort of like, I win, I'm the capitalist, money bags, but it is there's more depth to it. There's less chance. Monopoly is just a poorly designed game.
Slam on Monopoly.
Monopoly Go, really good. The card game?
I've never played
Fantastic.
Monopoly anything. Oh my God, we bought that.
The Catan? Yeah, I know. I look at it like once a week.
The travel Catan.
I
We
know.
never played it.
We've never played it. Okay, great. Good job. You passed. It was a coin toss, but you won the coin toss.
Great.
So you get to go next.
I have a note that said, so in the beginning of the book, we learned that Riley holds some resentment for her dad because she believes that they got divorced because he chose the board game store over her mom and like the family. And this note says like this quote says, he made his priorities known when he chose the store over mom and me. He shouldn't be allowed to have his cake and eat it too. And I went, why is he having to choose between his dreams and his family? Like that just...
Because she's 16.
Right. And that's
And
at the
she's
end of the
already
day.
shut him out.
At
Yeah,
the end
yeah.
of the day, she's just being a little bratty teenager. But in my head, I was like, that's crazy to be like, I know this is your dream, but...
Mom runs a business
Yeah.
and got to be a part of the family.
Yeah.
Like, she gets to do her dream.
Yeah. His job is honestly probably less involved than hers.
Well, it depends on how many employees he's
Sure,
got.
and, like
yeah.
he's in one place, she's going all over the place,
Yep. Yeah, but he's not making money.
But also to his 16-year-old,
You are not making money running a game store.
to your 16-year-old, the mom who is a chic,
Yep.
fancy interior designer, and your dad who runs a game store. It's
Yeah.
like,
It's
who
a
do you
little-
side with?
Hey, question for you. Is our FMC a woman of color? A POC?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I'm going off of the cover art. She absolutely could be.
That's right.
She's never given a description.
She describes a random kid as, Nathan. She describes Nathan as, quote, a white kid from my high school.
I don't know if I would be interested to hear why Kristy does this. Almost every character she introduces, she gives them a race, and part of it is like, to me, I understand her wanting to do that because a lot of authors catch flack for not having enough diversity.
Sure.
In their books.
Yeah.
They just default to having almost everyone be white, and then there's like, a character with caramel skin or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I feel like this is Kristy's way of saying, like, I'm putting it point blank for you guys. Yeah. This is what they are. Like, later in the book, she describes the PTA parent president or whatever as like a large black woman or something like that. And it's just like, when you read it, it's like, oh. And she'll say things like Riley will say, like, Jordan, a tall black kid. And it's alarming to read face value, but then you're like, you know what, actually?
I don't know
just
alarming is the word for it.
Not alarming, but jarring. It's like,
sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's, at the end of the day, it's like, it's a descriptor. Yeah. And so now you know that this character is black, that this character is Asian, and it's like, okay. I think of her as white only because of the cover art. She doesn't describe herself. I don't even think she says what color hair she has.
No, and she doesn't describe her mom or her dad in terms of like what race or ethnicity
which
they are.
Which I kind of love, because as an author, that feels almost deliberate to be like, cast yourself.
Yeah.
Put yourself as
She
Riley.
was biracial in my mind.
Oh, okay. I love that.
So I was just curious.
Yeah.
What you thought.
Yeah. Oh, it's this. This one's for my theater kid listeners. When she's talking about how like interest has dropped off for the musical, and that's why like the principal thinks that no one cares about the musical anymore. She talks about like the fact that they don't do like shows that people actually want to come see and or be in. And she says, last year we did Pirates of Penzance, which isn't exactly looping on our Broadway musical playlists. And I said, girl, so real, because my freshman year musical was Pirates of Penzance. And it's fun to do. I will say it's a fun show to do, but it is not pulling in people like when we did Peter Pan. So for my high school career as a theater kid, we did Pirates of Penzance my freshman year. We did Pippin my sophomore year. We did Peter Pan my junior year.
And then
Fame.
Oh.
I know.
They had a thing going.
They should have done another P. And then
Piranha 3D.
Fame my senior year. And if you are a theater person, you know that those are lame ass shows to do, when again the schools all
Pippin's
around
weird and fun.
Pippin is weird and fun, but like
and probably really cheap on licensing.
Sure, but it's also like when I hated Pippin for so long.
Sure.
And then I saw the revival. The most recent revival on Broadway was fantastic because they redid it, they revamped it. But it's like the schools around us were doing Spring Awakening and Cabaret, and they were just doing really fun cool
home
shows. Not Fun Home, though. Like, they were just doing fun shows because the musical directors for those schools knew that if you want to get people in the seats, they have to recognize the show.
Yeah.
Now, my school that I went to was a giant school. We had my graduating class was like 800 something kids, and each class had about 800 something kids. It was a giant school, and it was very, very diverse. Like, if I always say, like, in my school, like, the white kids were the minority, and so like, and it was like, a little underfunded. Like, it was not a bad school, but like, we were a athlete heavy school. Like, people weren't super interested in theater, so if they hear that the spring musical is Pirates of Penzance, they're not fucking coming.
No.
So anyway, I was just like, oh God, that brought me back. That brought me back to be like, when we heard that because before Pirates of Penzance, they had done The Wiz, and they had done Guys and Dolls and The Pajama Game, which are both Guys and Dolls and The Pajama Game are. Do I say pajama or pajama? I say pajama. The Pajama Game. Those are both older shows, but they're like still a little bit more recognizable, and they're also more fun.
I've never heard of the Pajama band,
Game?
The Pajama Show?
Pajama Game. Oh, we should watch it. It's a movie. It's great. It's fun.
Well, the title isn't doing it any favors.
The pajama game is the game we're in, and
Stop, we're gonna
I'm
get,
proud to be in the
I won't be
pajama
able to
game.
put this
I
on
love
YouTube.
It. Oh, I don't think
They'll
gonna
copyright strike you.
It's a really great show.
Okay.
And it's fun. It's like the fun 50s, 40s kind of thing.
Speaking of guys and dolls, though, I had a note that when describing Paul, the ex-boyfriend, I've managed to mostly avoid him since Disaster Day, my term for the day, back in June when Paul broke up with me after he scored the lead in the community production of The Music Man and I didn't get a part. And I said there are only two men in musical theater, gays and dogs.
That's so true. That's
Yeah.
so true.
Mm-hmm.
Because every straight man in theater,
Dog.
absolute dog. We in my college we used to play the game.
Is he gay or is he European?
No, is he hot or is he just straight? Because like there would be straight guys in the musical theater program because my college that I went to was very heavily gay. Very gay, okay? And they had the saying "gay by May." Like there was like every year a new class would come in, and the boys that would come in would be straight, and then by May they'd be gay. So there's a lot of gay men. So the straight men had their pick,
Mm-hmm.
and women would throw themselves at them, and then we would have like a moment of clarity and go, "Is he hot or is he just straight?" So yeah,
And most of the time,
just straight.
just straight.
Just
Yep.
straight.
That's how it goes.
Oh, I loved this one. I'm wearing a red pleated skirt with an oversized pink and red polka dot sweater vest over a bright blue button up. Love that. Fun. If I saw her in school as a fellow high schooler, I'd want to be friends with her.
Yeah.
I also want to say that I think my favorite trope in romance books and books like this is fake dating. I think fake dating is so fun. There's a lot of tropes that I don't like. I hate a miscommunication trope. I understand why they exist. It makes for a good story, but I love a fake dating trope. And it's the same thing every time. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what the end game is. You know,
Yep.
It's like, don't fall in love with me. And it's like, well, but it's
Whoopsies.
just, I don't know. It's just so fun.
It's fun.
It's fun and it's like a sitcom. You know what I mean?
I did have a note. One of the very first times we spend a lot of time with Dad, I realized that this whole book, at least the first half of it, is just a warning of what happens if I fuck up and get divorced from you. And just a sad.
You're Nathan, but you could also
lonely-
be the dad.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I could.
Oh,
We're gonna stick to Nathan though.
I love the way that she wrote this line. My brain departs my body completely, and I lean forward and kiss him on the upper arm.
Yes.
I wrote LMAO because that's so funny.
Yes. Yeah, Kristy does a really good job of capturing the awkwardness of high school as I remember it through rose-colored glasses. It's never so cringe, right? Because it's not me. But I do. There's something familiar about it.
Yes.
It's like finding an old sweater.
Yeah.
And finding out that it still fits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was like this too.
Yeah, exactly. That's
And
how
now I have
yeah.
a frontal lobe.
Yeah. I wrote a couple of times how much Riz Nathan's got.
He's great. Dude's got game. It's crazy
yeah.
that he's like
a wallflower nerd that no
Yeah.
one notices.
Yeah.
You know, his whole thing where he's cradling her jaw in his hand. And I thought it might be fun to get to know you better from that reading. I wrote, this kid's got Riz. And then later on I wrote, there in some scene he says, keep your eyes on me. Pretend I'm saying something romantic. And I said, the Rizzler. The first note I wrote was, kids got Riz. It's always the nerds. And I wrote Carter first date story. And I've told this story on my TikTok before, but not many years ago. And yes.
No, please laud me with praise. Continue.
Carter, on our first date, we went on a picnic.
Yeah.
And he packed the whole basket. I just brought a drink. I bought a mixed drink for us.
Yeah, but it was great. It was like a caramel whiskey apple cider.
Yeah, no, I fucked it up. I did a great
delightful.
job.
It was just what that picnic
But he
needed.
made, it's not even he bought food and just brought it. He made
I was
us
poor.
sandwiches.
Had to make it.
He made us sandwiches and a salad and oh my God.
It was
I was
what it? Turkey, apple, and brie on brioche.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, effort? Thy name is
Carter.
And so we had this wonderful picnic, and then we went to a museum. It's called the Cloisters, and it's at the upper part of Manhattan. It's absolutely beautiful. If you ever come to New York City, worth a visit. And then we were just walking around, getting to know each other. We were like making jokes and being silly, funny with each other. And
I was learning that you were Catholic and indeed actually a witch, because it's like a super religious.
yeah,
Like it's all of the Met's religious Catholic art in that museum. And, you know, when somebody, I didn't know what that meant necessarily.
That
you
it was
were
a
like
witch?
practicing as a witch, you know? So I was like, oh, cool, great. Probably shouldn't have picked the Catholic museum, but whatever.
but I was raised a Catholic, so I'm like, it's all right. I don't have too
move
much
on.
trauma.
There's a lot of gold. You know, it's pretty.
Yeah. We were like probably an hour and a half into being in the museum, and like, but we were like a couple hours into the date. So we were starting to get comfortable with each other, and we were in a room where we both walked up to, it was a book in a case, and we were both reading it. And at this point, Carter was being such a gentleman that I didn't know if he was into me. I was into him. But he he was being such a gentleman. He wasn't trying to touch me. He wasn't doing like any sort of looking at my eyes. He wasn't making any sort of verbal or physical advances, like nothing. That I was like, okay, maybe we're just vibing as friends. And then he walks up behind me. We're both looking at the book in the case, and he ever so slightly runs his finger gently down my spine, almost not even touching me, but I felt it. And I remember in that moment feeling my heartbeat down below immediately, because it was so unexpected, and it was so sexy, but it was so respectful, and it was perfect. And I thought in that moment, I went, oh, okay, game's still on. And there's no fooling anyone that you're a nerd. Like, you know, I knew on the date, I was like, this is a nerdy ass kid, and I love a nerd. Yeah. But when you did that, I was like, oh, this kid's got game. This kid's got game. And so that's what it reminded me of. Nathan reminded me of your game, because
Well, thank you.
he's like this sweet, unassuming nerd that really can turn it on.
You know, I learned that movie or that move from Hitch. Yeah.
And it worked.
And it
Hey,
worked.
listen,
I mean,
it
it's
wasn't
my own
just a
spin on
sitcom.
it. It's not the exact same thing, but I remember watching Hitch when I was like 12 or 13, going like, ooh, okay. Because that's how I learned how to kiss. That's how I learned how to flirt. Mm-hmm. I am.
Thank you, Will
if there's one fictional character that I really, really do feel connected to, it is Abed from Community.
Yeah.
You know, not quite so on the spectrum, but I understand the like ease of using pop culture to learn how to live. Mm-hmm. It's a useful thing. I do have to say, okay, question. Mm-hmm. Would you have liked the end more if Nathan ended up on stage, like performing?
No.
No? Okay.
I didn't dislike the end.
No. Yeah.
Oh.
No. This is like the end is great.
Oh, okay. Would
I'm not
you have
saying
liked it more?
Yes.
No, I actually kind of like that he wasn't performing, because he's not the type to do that.
I know.
You obviously would have liked that.
Well, I really love that it was Lucas. I was not expecting that. And once it happened, I was like, oh, great. Yes, that makes sense. That's perfect. But at the beginning, the way that he is so charismatic and he's so shy, I was like, oh, great, cool. She gets to learn more about his world. He's going to learn more about her world. Mm-hmm. He role plays for fun. He's clearly not a bad actor. You know, who knows if he can sing or not, but he could do like a bit comedy part. Mm-hmm. So I thought that he was going to end up needing to like come in at the very end.
Sure. I mean, there's
And
a
there's
version of the
probably
story
a draft.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense, and that would be a good ending as well. But I liked the fact that everyone else was involved except him, because he helped as much as he could with his comfort level.
Yeah, he almost mirrored her in the fact that she had to step up and become the producer / director of this thing. And so, you know, there's a moment where she's going over lines or talking about blocking with the kids, her peers, the other students. And there's a moment in her head where in her monologue where she goes, oh, I miss performing. Like, I do miss being on stage, and I miss doing this, but I'd much rather there be a musical, and I get to do all of these other cool things as the director. And so he almost becomes the producer of, like, saving the show by being the person who, like, helps put everyone where they need to be.
Right.
So I guess that's better. But as I was reading, I was like, oh, the budding theater director is going to pull a fast one and cast the empathetic troubled gamer with great listening skills. and she didn't. I wish she had.
This line made me groan, but in the best way. When she comes down the stairs for the homecoming dance and Nathan sees her in her dress for the first time, she says, "It's as if he's staring at an angel that dropped to earth." Or, Idina Menzel.
I wrote, ugh.
Oh my God. Listen, again, praise to Kristy Boyce, because she really captures, she captures the annoyance of musical theater obsessed teenagers. This girl I love her. She's so fun and she's so quirky and she's so earnest and passionate, but she's annoying. She's annoying. She's like, I'm not the theater person. I'm not the stereotypical theater person, because
You're not like other.
I'm not like other theater girls. Okay. Just mostly because, like, I never wanted it to be my whole life. So I would try to, like, be into other things, or when I talk to people, like, try not to talk just about theater or whatever. But, like, there are theater people out there that's just like they eat, sleep, and breathe theater. And I say that derogatory because like I took a note when she breaks out in song for the first time.
I did.
Hold on. Oh,
I did something
God.
similar. One of my very first games at D&D. I was also playing a bard,
and you
little
sung?
gnome named Yorick Silverthroat. No, I did not sing. I wasn't that embarrassing. I had a harmonica.
I don't know if that's not embarrassing.
Well, the harmonica will be in key always.
Sure. I said
and I got inspiration.
There you go.
For doing that. Okay.
I said, so like a theater kid to break into song and make it everyone's problem. Because that's, yes. The first time I read this a year ago, I was like, oh my God, this girl's so annoying. But again, that's not a bad thing. It's a great characterization of a teenager that's obsessed with
incredibly
theater.
Honest. And I think it suits the table really well.
Yes.
Like, they are true blue.
Idina Menzel.
I know, crazy. But they are, like, really hardcore into the role play, into the character aspect of things. You need to talk to each other in character at the table always, which is, not how I run my games. I wish I could run games like that.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome. But, so, if she's a bard, great. Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Sing. Yeah. In character.
But it's like she sings like Defying Gravity or like something. And
well,
I'm like,
she does name herself Elphaba.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that's her character's name, which is great. We can talk about it now, or we can talk about it later. But at some point, we're going to need to talk about how much I loved that Kristy used I keep using Miss Boyce.
We don't know Kristy like that.
We don't know Kristy like that. Anyways, Miss Boyce did a phenomenal job in incorporating the mechanics of the game into the story and the relationship dynamic between these characters. And it's just like chef's kiss.
Yeah. Especially the whole thing about like them using their
bardic inspiration.
Their inspirations on the other characters to like help them out. To save them from like a monster or whatever, like it's integral to the story as well. If they're like relationships, like there's a part where Nathan is always protecting Sophia's character, but because they're doing this ploy, Nathan decides to protect Riley's character instead.
Elphaba.
And it's like Elphaba, and you're right. It's like she's using the game mechanics to inform the relationships in real life. Like, it's really great.
It was great. It was fantastic.
I would be surprised if she hasn't played a game. Like, I'm sure she used her drama nerdy, but
according to the acknowledgments at the end of this, she has played.
Oh, okay.
Because she and her best friend joined a game in high school and they found their forever partners in that game.
Oh, you said that. Oh my God,
It's
guys.
so
to hear
cute.
that when I didn't read the acknowledgement. I'm terrible. I never read the acknowledgements, but he was like, oh my God, Marielle, like the way this book ends and the story of this book is basically her and her best friend joined a D&D game and they found their forever partners. How cute.
It's adorable.
Oh,
it's incredible.
Adorable.
So clearly they weren't playing 5th edition, and there's a couple small things where I'm like, I don't know if that tracks. But it's mostly just the fact that they're up against kobolds, and then like 3 or 4 sessions later, they're like, we're gonna fight a Hydra. I'm like, that's not how level progression goes. Whether you're doing milestone or experience, if kobolds are giving you trouble, a Hydra is not next month.
I did write that the one feeling this book does evoke for me is missing what it's like to have high school crushes, like to have like a young love crush. This says when they were watching the Monty Python film, her dad's apartment is kind of small, and so they were all like huddled together, like some were sitting on the floor, but there's like a love seat or like a small couch that Riley, Nathan, and someone else are sitting on.
Anthony.
So Nathan and Riley get to sit next to each other,
and
it says they were pressed against each other from hip to knee. I try to cross my legs to give us a little space and keep my eyes on the screen. And like in that moment, I've been there. I've been in that situation where I've been like touching knees, touching thighs, touching arms with my crush, and you're just trying to keep it cool. You're like, is he thinking the same thing I'm thinking? Is he aware of where our bodies are touching in the same way as me? And I just said, I miss that kind of romantic innocence when you have a crush as a kid, you know?
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. It's a sweet time.
Later on in the book, we find out that John is gay. We don't know that for most of the book.
Yes, we do.
No.
Yeah, the very first time we meet him, he talks about his boyfriend.
He doesn't say my boyfriend. He just says Jordan. He references Jordan. He doesn't say boyfriend. Because I remember the first time I read this, I was like, I didn't know that he was gay. He just
I picked that up
references
immediately.
But because Jordan is a unisex name.
I mean, yeah,
So-
but it's D&D.
Whatever. I didn't clock him as gay until later on we were introduced to Jordan, and it says, "Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm the boyfriend." And I wrote, "Hi, gay," because reading this a second time. I went, "Oh yeah, he's gay." Oh my God, the scene where she tells her dad that she's quitting.
Brutal.
For my Twilight heads, it reminds me of the scene where Bella needs to convince Charlie to let her go because the vampire's chasing her. We watched Twilight semi recently. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Like, yeah. So
Yep.
like the mean vampire is chasing her and she has to get out of town, but she's 17 years old, 16 years old. So she has to tell Charlie that she's going home to her mom, and he's like, wait, I thought we were, and he's like, hey man, I thought that we were like getting along and having a good time. And she's like, I won't be stuck here like mom was. And she's like hurling these insults at him. That's exactly what this scene is when she's quitting the board game store to her dad. It is heartbreaking. Her dad says, we were having such a great time. I wanted to keep building a stronger relationship with you. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm heartbroken for her poor father.
It's really brutal. And like at the very end, he's so stoic and accepting of it, which just broke me because I don't know if I would have that kind of self-control if I had a daughter who I rarely got to see. Suddenly in the last few months of my life, she's come back in a big way. I've seen her open up. We've started a repartee, and then she just like takes a dump on my life.
Yeah.
For no reason, in the way that like
nowhere.
only 16-year-olds
Yeah.
can be this kind of cruel and heartless.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
for him to just be like, okay, message received, I'll drive you home.
Yeah. Oh, so sad.
I was like,
But I will say
I would lose it.
the end of
I go crazy.
Yeah. The end of this book, so wholesome, so inspirational. When she arrives to the performance and sees how well it's going, she runs to like the middle of the auditorium and she starts conducting the kids as they sing and says, I raise my hands like I'm directing a choir. They catch sight of me one by one, and everyone projects just a little bit louder, their voices harmonizing and filling the auditorium. I wrote, not me getting emotional. It's so sweet. But then I also started, I was taking notes about how, like, in the very end of this book, when everyone's coming together and saying, like, I can help out with sets, and, like, me and Riley's dad will sponsor it, and Anthony and Lucas are like, we could be stage crew, and like everyone is coming together to be like, please, like, let these kids have their musical. And I wrote, imagine people cared about theater this much in real life, because as a theater kid, that was my whole life, it was like pulling teeth to get people to give a shit about the theater. And besides the kids that love doing it and the teachers that love doing it, like, it was just, oh my God, it was, you know, again, because the high school I went to was super sports focused. Like, most of the kids from my high school would go on to D1 schools and get drafted to the NFL. You know, like, they did not give a fuck about the theater program. We didn't even have a theater program. It was just like a music program, and they would put on a musical every year. So it was just like, wow. That's the dream, that like the community comes together and it's like, let's help out these kids live their theater bliss. And that reminds me of what I was saying to you earlier, which is, you were like, she has to be a Virgo because of the work that she puts in.
Oh,
and then
okay.
he's like, because I know a Capricorn. So I'm coming right back at you, bitch. When I was in high school, first of all, I was Queen Bee. I'm not afraid to say it. I was the girl. Like, I wasn't always the lead in the productions because I was fat, but I was always involved, and people were always coming to me, and I've always been taken on like a leadership position. We needed to have a fundraiser for the music department, and which spills over into the theater, the quote unquote theater program. It was just like whatever money the music department had, they'd use for the show. And they needed to have a fundraiser, and they would always do this stupid fucking thing, spaghetti and meatballs night, where people would just come and like have a spaghetti dinner.
Yeah.
So stupid. Like, no one's coming to school at night on like a fucking Thursday to eat spaghetti. What are we doing? The only people that are coming are people that are in the program and whatever.
And they do theater, so they don't have a lot to give.
So me and my best friend at the time went in a Riley fashion, went to our, higher ups in the music department and said, we should put on a cabaret. We should put on a cabaret with all the kids and charge tickets, because my high school didn't charge tickets for the shows, which was insane. I mean, like, I understand their thinking, because we're a low income district, that they were like, we should allow everyone to come in and be able to see it no matter what their financial situation. But I was like, but you could like suggest a donation or something,
And the fundraiser does need to raise funds. Like, there's a difference between the one night only cabaret to raise money for the musical and the musical.
Right, but the administration, for whatever reason, did not like the idea of charging for a ticket for a show. Like, charging for food, I guess, was which is insane in itself. Yeah. Charging for food was okay, but like, I had to fight so hard. I did exactly what Riley did. I like made a PowerPoint. I had a meeting with the principal and was like, this is, like, we've outlined exactly how this is going to go. Other schools with friends that we have friends in other schools that have done this and it's been successful. We know that you don't like us to charge money for tickets, but like, this isn't about letting low-income people have an access to art. This is about funding the reason we're able to do that and put on a show for people that don't get to see theater because they don't have enough money. So eventually they let us do it. And me and my best friend, I did this 2 years in a row. Me and my best friend put on this whole cabaret by ourselves. No help from the teachers. We built sets. We sourced costumes. I blocked everything. I even choreographed things. I held auditions. I made a set list. I did advertising. I remember the first like real big stress, like I don't want to say nervous breakdown, because that's what I've been referring to what I just went through. Mm-hmm. But I got so stressed out. My mom never let me stay home from school unless I was sick. And she saw how stressed out I was. So she was like, you could stay home and sleep. I was burning things onto CDs. I was doing sound and lighting. I was doing everything. And we raised like $1,500.
Way to go.
This whole book, it just hits home for me. In like little Marielle and now present Marielle, because there's so many things like her, fighting to get the spring musical back on track and like doing all this work, but also like, present Marielle dating a Dungeons and Dragons nerd, a board game nerd.
And a theater nerd in his own right.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're a theater nerd.
And I went to a theater high school.
Yeah.
I have a BFA.
You do.
God damn it. And I'm using it every day.
I mean, I guess right now we are.
I guess.
We're acting.
Yeah, but I'm not acting. I'm a producer.
Well, our readings were acting.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day...
Tens of thousands of dollars. Well spent.
Don't go to school for theater, kids.
At the end of the day, I don't know if a BFA is the degree that you want from your undergrad.
It's not.
But also, I've looked at the analytics. You guys aren't going to your undergrad. I know that.
They're old.
Don't say that. They're our age. It's like the 25 to 34 range.
Old. Dried up. Raisins. Husks of people.
That is how I've been feeling the last couple of days.
Same.
I've stopped stretching.
This book, wholesome.
So fantastic.
Lovely.
Oh my goodness.
It really is. And I don't mean to disparage the books that we've done already, because I think I've made it clear how much I love the self-published smut ebooks. I think they are art in their own right.
I have enjoyed every single book we've read, all on their own merits. Some have, like we were just talking last episode about the prose of Built to Fall.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a very different kind of book, right? I'm enjoying this one for very different reasons.
Well, I was just gonna say, like,
they're all great.
When you read a bunch of smut and then you read a book that's like published by
It's a
Penguin
palate cleanser.
Random House and it's sold in Barnes and Nobles, it is a palate cleanser. It's like, oh, okay, and it's
right,
and it's so darling.
Mm-hmm.
It's really great. I have to read some of her other books. She has other kinds of books like this, not about Dungeons and Dragons, but like
bummer.
But it's just like the like wholesomeness of their crush, and like a lot of like I think I wrote a note that was something like it was a part of the book where she talks about like wanting to kiss him so hard that they fall into a like that they become breathless and they fall into the stacks of games or whatever. Like the way she's describing it, I'm like, this is so it's like hotter than the smut you read, because like
it's youthful and innocent,
but it's
capturing that ephemeral thing that you can never get back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we were tainted, and
like I love you so much, but I will never get to experience being like 14 or 15 and having a crush on you, and like knowing who you are from afar, but like we don't have any classes together or anything, and like trying to figure out how to navigate that.
Yeah. So, obviously, no peppers.
No peppers.
No peppers. Just a fluffy little cloud. But I give it 5 pens.
I'll give it 4.5.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 is like.
Don't let your threshold be like Lord of the Rings.
But it is.
Okay, I know, but we're talking
This
about
is
like.
also this is the first young adult novel I've read since I was a young adult.
Okay.
Since I was a teenager, even. So like, I want there to be a little bit of a ceiling. That 4.5 might change to a 5 if we read more YA and I go, oh no, yeah, that was perfect.
Sure.
That was
Okay.
great. That
hear you.
hit the mark. But I want to leave some room.
Yeah,
to grow.
I
It was phenomenal.
I give it 5 pens because I just think it's a great story. Like you said, it has like a beginning, middle, and end. It has a climax. It has a, all that shit. Like it has
Denouement.
What does that mean?
It means like the tying of the knot. So that's the falling action after the climax. there's the falling action, and then the resolution or denouement, which is when everything gets tied up in a bow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's just like all the characters are so lovable. They're so like you feel like you know them. The plot is great without any crazy twists and turns, and
Yeah.
you know, like the writing is good. It's evocative. It nails, I think, what it's trying to nail, the theater kid, the nerd part of it.
Yeah.
You like the daughter having a strained relationship with her divorced dad. Like it's
great.
As someone that doesn't rate things maybe as shrewdly as you can, I thought it had everything I was looking for in a book.
Great. And I love that.
Yeah.
And I'd give it 4 dice
There you go.
out of 5. 4 out of 5 dice. The kobold thing threw me off, but otherwise, really good.
So that's going to be it for us for our first wholesome book of the pod.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it might not be as like chaotic and out of pocket as our other episodes, but I think, as we said, it's a palate cleanser. You know, we don't want to become desensitized to the smut, and I think peppering these in will be great for us and for you guys. Which, that being said, the next book will also be a YA romance. This one will include magic and, you know, high fantasy, I believe.
Are there conlangs?
There might be. I don't know.
Is there a map?
Uh-huh.
Is there a map?
I don't know. The book is right there. Very excited when I reached out to that author for that book, and I was like, can we read one of your books on the podcast? She's a follower of mine. She was like, you can, but I write YA books with very little to no spice. Because she was like, I need to be able to look the young people in my family in the eyes or something like that. And I was like, that's fair, girl.
That didn't stop Stephen King, for the record.
It didn't. That's horrifying. Someone was talking about
But that scene in It.
That scene in It.
Yeah, that was like
I've
the
never
first
read it, but
time I ever read anything sexual.
And I've heard it's not enjoyable even. It's uncomfortable.
No one on or off the page likes that scene. No one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That being said, the next book, wholesome. And I'm excited because I love a YA high fantasy book.
I can't wait.
It's called, if you want to get a head start, it's called Notorious Virtues by Alwyn Hamilton. But yeah, so that's the end of this episode. Love Dungeons & Dragons. Love Kristy Boyce. Thank you, Penguin Random House.
Yeah, thank you so much. Again, the audiobook is available. There's like a link that you can click in the description. Please, if you do listen to audiobooks and you are interested, grab this one just because like they bent the rules a little bit for us to let us read some of this on the podcast, and we're very appreciative.
And we want Kristy to make her money.
Yeah.
And you know,
and everyone and whomever those voice actors are as well.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Check it out. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the Patreon.
Yes.
Hope to see you there. We might have like an extra little special nonsense smut read in place of smut for this book. We'll figure it out. I love you guys.
Yeah, for all of us here at Double Entendre Pod. Keep it light. Keep it PG.
There you go.